Everybody's got their recorders. Fire away.
What's the plan for the 8 days off that you have between?
Well, here's what we did, is we took Sunday off. We went the last 2 days where we worked a lot of 5-on-0 stuff without contact. Tomorrow, we're going to take off, and then we'll come back with hard contact practice Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Shorter, obviously, the day before the game on Saturday, and then play the game. Shabazz could not practice today. He has a pink eye. He's got a very contagious, his eye's swollen, so you guys won't be seeing him today, so he wasn't allowed to practice. He had to actually take his contacts out of his eyes because of the irritating effect to his pink eye. And we're hopeful that it'll be resolved and okay by Thursday when we reconvene for practice.
Do you like having this little break to kind of work on stuff at this point in the season?
Yeah, you know, and I would have liked it, you know, honestly, to have more of a break between last time we played. But I like the idea, you know, historically, in my tenure, we always had an intersectional game, you know, for TV to make some extra CBS money, per se. And I'm glad that we get this time. I think it's good for teams this time of year. I mean, you know, we have a lot of things. You're going the whole year so much based on the next game and preparing for the game. Sometimes you lose the opportunity. Like we did a lot of skill development the last 2 days. A lot of just reading of screens and shortening passes and working on screens and, you know, seeing the different options available to us when you trail versus when a player doesn't trail and goes underneath. Just all sorts of little things that, you know, are the details that matter so much that sometimes because we're preparing for the next game and the games just keep coming at you, you don't get a chance to do that much, especially during the season. So this was great. I really liked it. I'm just sorry it's raining.
What about the fact that you guys are playing only 7 guys, 7.5 guys, and you know, just the chance to rest some legs?
Yeah, you know what though, I mean, we're not resting. I mean, there's, you know, we're kind of winding down here. I mean, it's good that we took Sunday off, we had the day off. I was vacillating between giving 2 days off in a row, then we'd go 5 days in a row before we played. And I think the players preferred what we did. And I know our trainer and our strength coach, I weighed in with them on it, and they felt this was the better move, and so that's what we did. But yeah, definitely getting some rest is important. You know, some of these guys are such gym rats. I'm just preaching to them. It's like, hey, this is important that we have tomorrow off, but it negates things if you come in here and shoot from 10 o'clock tomorrow night until 1 in the morning, which they've been known to do. Come in here and they just want to shoot for hour upon hour at night. And it's like, yeah, sometimes you can see that affects you. And so I'm telling you, you know, these guys like the gym, and that's a good problem.
You've broken down much of the tape from the last time you played them?
Yeah, it's really, you know, it's depressing. You know, I remember watching it the last time when we played right after, and we watched it as a team, and God, they were very good, we were very poor. You know, we were in our, you know, blew out mode and trying to, you know, play to the crowd almost. You know, we'll watch edits of that game, not the whole game again, but with the team we'll watch edits before practice on Thursday, which I think will remind them of, you know, our play in that game. It wasn't pretty.
Well, I assume the edits would be not somebody on your side going in for a dunk or hitting a big shot.
Yeah,
The edits
but
would be-
you know, there were so many times, and again, give them credit. I thought they had a great game plan. I thought they did a great job. But you know, we could definitely play better than we did last time.
How much was Shabazz really able to go in that game?
Well, I mean, he was really, I mean, I'll tell you what, and I thought about that watching, thinking back to that game, that he was able to play at all was really a testament to his toughness. And then the fact that really, you know, Travis was cleared you know, an hour before the game finally, because he had some hesitancy, you know, which is normal. Even though it was a mild concussion, you know, he basically had no contact for a week. So, but that's no excuse. I mean, bottom line is, you know, we had a lead, a 2-point lead in overtime, and gambled and gave them a 3-pointer. And after it was all said and done, we still had a chance to win and couldn't capitalize on it.
Any thoughts on your approach to this game? And here Shabazz is out again with something.
Oh, it's completely different. I mean, Pink Eye is not closely related to the flu virus that he had. I mean, you know, he was really, really hurting. You know, and he doesn't even own a pair of glasses. If he had a pair of glasses today, he could have practiced with his problem. You know, he doesn't even own a normal pair of reading glasses. So, you know, you gotta help him get a pair for these kind of emergencies.
Only those lensless ones that he wears?
Right. Fashion. He has fashion glasses.
And how much did, or what did you see different in Larry's performance over the weekend? That was able to shoot like he did.
You know, he's been really working hard on the shot. I think, you know, I looked at the stats today. He is almost at 40% on the season from 3 overall on the season. That is really, really good. I mean, he should be shooting more of them. But I thought overall the difference was, you know, a tale of two different games completely. When we don't have something in transition, we've got to do a better job at simplifying what we do, doing less things and doing them well, and then reading how they're playing us. That's kind of what we've worked on the last 2 days in terms of our half-court stuff. I thought we did a better job both in transition because we did a good job getting stops. We also, against Stanford, if you went back and watched the film, we had 3 layups, 2 layups and a dunk on their made baskets in the first 20 points of the game, which is huge for us. Anytime that you can do that and get a made basket after the other team scores, that's really, really big. And it shows that we're pushing on it.
In the ASU and USC games, it looked like teams were kind of playing off Larry a little bit. Do you think the kind of improved shooting stroke he's shown is going to prevent teams from doing that so much?
Yeah, I just think it gives him more confidence to shoot the ball when he's wide open. And we want him to do that. You know, pick and choose. It's time, score, flow of the game. Those are the 3 things you're always taking into account as a player. That's your plan. It's time, score, flow. You know, sometimes they may give you a wide open shot, or they just want a 6-0 run, so we're not going to shoot it on the very first wide open. We're going to keep the ball for a minute here, and, you know, things like that.
What do you mean by doing less on offense? Is it
Running
running
less sets. So like when we went into the game Saturday saying, okay, these are the 9 things we're going to run. That's it. So let's execute what it is that we do and really execute those 9 simple things well. Reading the defense.
Well,
You know, in years past, we've had as many as 45 different sets that we've been down to in a given game.
Do you try to whittle that down over the
I
course
think
of the
with this
season?
team, not always. I think it's really hard when you have a half a day to prepare for a team or a day, and another team's running like, you know, so many different things intricately. That's why when you get to some of our teams, I think that the Pac-12, because it's hard. Our league is used to having to prepare for games on a quick turnaround. So I think when our teams get to the tournament this year, I think our teams benefit from the way we do our conference. I don't like how we do it. You know, I much rather prefer, you know, what they're doing in every other BCS league. But because of geography and the way things are set up in the Pac-12, it's really necessary the way we do it, you know. So although it's harder during the regular season, conference season, I think it better prepares teams for NCAA tournament play.
When you are running just 9 plays, though, does it leave you vulnerable to a team figuring out what those 9 plays
No.
are, knowing you have only 9 options on offense or anything like that?
No, it's 9 plays, but there's multiple.
Oh, right,
plays
right,
that go on
right.
each. It's not 9 is actually a lot.
Why is simplifying better with this one?
We're young. And it's just, you know, working on execution. It doesn't matter, whatever you run, it doesn't even matter. It has to do with how you execute. I mean, are you setting hard screens? Are you cutting hard? Are you coming off ball screens low? Are you, reading at the end of the play? It's about reading what the defense gives you.
How long was it just this weekend that you decided, or how long have you been working?
Oh, we probably normally have about, 20 things we could run, or 18, and, so instead of, 15, 18, whatever it is, I can count for you, and let you know next time I see you. 9, that's something, okay, this is all we're doing.
That was the goal going into Stanford?
Correct.
Okay. So it didn't happen before?
No.
You talked about the transition offense. There were times in that Stanford game where there was nothing there in transition. Offense got a little stagnant. What exactly are you guys working on this week to help that?
No, I don't think that happened in the Stanford game. I think it was really happening in the Cal game. I totally disagree. The Stanford game, what did we shoot from the field?
54.
15.
Yeah, if you're shooting over 50%, you're doing well.
What things have you worked on just from a secondary offense or when the primary break isn't there?
Yeah, setting up and running those 9 things, which are half-court offensive sets.
Running less plays, does that require you to take maybe more of a leap of faith in their playmaking ability that they can?
No, and the execution. It's all about execution and reading. Yeah, I mean, you're reading. In other words, it's not a, you have different reads. If he trails me, I'm going to curl. If he goes ball side screen, I'm going to fade. If he fades, I have to shorten the pass. If he goes underneath, I'm going to rescreen. One thing we're doing is we're setting more flat screens for Larry, which I think is really, we did that Saturday. In other words, at the end of possessions, instead of angling the screen, we were setting a flat screen so he could get a running start. And you can't go underneath a flat screen and stay in front of the ball as easily. So we'll probably be doing, things like that for him as well. I thought Larry was terrific in the game the other day. He got a little tired and had a few more turnovers than normal. But I thought, his overall play was outstanding.
Was that fatigue, the turnovers?
Yeah, I just think he gets fatigued and making a one-handed pass and throwing away. He had like a couple of turnovers that he didn't really get. I mean, I was looking at the national stats today. We're 4th in the country in assist to turnover ratio, this team is. And it starts with Larry and Kyle. I mean, they're doing such a good job handling the ball. I mean, that's an impressive stat. We've never been that high. How are we compensating for not being a great rebounding team, taking really good care of the basketball and making good decisions with it? We got to keep getting better, at our rebounding. I thought we did that Saturday much better. And part of that is I talked about after our loss to Cal, how poor offense leads to tougher possessions defensively. They work in unison. When you're good offensively, it helps your defense. When you're good defensively, it helps your offense. And the flip side is true. When you're poor defensively, it hurts your offense because you're scoring every time you're taking out the net. And when you're poor offensively, it's leading to breaks and opportunities for the other team.
The work you did the last couple of days, was there much time spent not just with Shabazz, but with others about how to handle that double team, the type that Cal was running at?
Yeah, but they're only doing it spot. We're not seeing that much.
So has he been in school?
Well, he only practiced yesterday.
How impressive has Larry's longevity been, just considering he's playing 38 minutes a game and hasn't really had a break from that, especially before this week?
I think he's playing 35.
That's something.
Wrong.
There were some games he played as much as 30
Oh, yeah,
minutes.
I think he played 37 on Saturday. But, it just shows what a great athlete he is, because we're asking him to play really hard in those minutes. He's handled it well. He's playing like a senior.
A lot of your half-court offense has been finding Shabazz curling off an off-ball screen. Why is he so effective at shooting a jumper off that screen really quickly like that?
He's just really talented that way. And he's improved. I mean, I think his jump shots really improved this year. I think he's really worked at it. If you go back and watch the film, how he's leaving his hand up and falling through. The media was right. I mean, I had forgot after the game. I think it was the writer from one of the Bay Area. He said, "What is that 4-point play?" I watched the game. I'm playing when we've gone home. He was right. That was the key backbreaker for them, because it was about a 4-point game. Also, the boom went to 8, and they had switched. It was all a good screen, And then he was wide open, and the guy got there late and knocked him down. But he really stayed in the shot. That was really a big shot. That was exciting.
How different is this layoff, what you're doing between from Stanford to this USC game, different from the last time you had a week off before the SEC?
I can't remember the last time we had a week. We had 8 days between games.
I mean, like the preparation, how is it different? What are you doing this time that you didn't do the first time?
Well, the last 2 days, we didn't do anything with contact. We just primarily focused on offensive execution and worked on how to read screens, how to set screens, how to shorten passes, a lot of skill development. Now we'll come back to our normal routine, which starts on Thursday, where we're preparing for what they run offensively, how they defended us defensively, and getting more into USC basketball and how we're going to prepare for them as we move into the game Sunday.
Any more questions?
Does it seem like the players are noticeably itching to get, maybe Revenge came in against USC, Larry had some pretty harsh words last time out right after the loss.
I remember that.
I guess said you wanted to kill them the next time coming out.
Well, that's not appropriate. But, of course, our guys want to win. That was a very disappointing loss for us. And just like they don't win, and we add to it, it's USC, UCLA. It's important. I mean, they're playing well. I mean, that game started a 4-game win streak, and it would have been 5 if they could have beat Cowboys. They were up 15 in the second half. I mean, they're playing really good right now. Very good basketball. 4 guys in double figures. Give their staff a lot of credit. They've done a great job with those kids.
Thoughts on Dr. Buss?
Yeah, it was really sad. Jerry Buss was really nice to me during my tenure here. I've been in his box a couple of times. What he meant to the city of LA with everything he's done to the Lakers and their organization. He's been great for basketball. And, as Magic spoke of last night, a lot of people, he brought, the whole event and showtime really to basketball. It's incredible. I mean, I was listening to all the stuff they were doing on last night. 1979, the finals, the year they won it with Magic, that part of that was tape delayed. I mean, can you imagine? And part of that was tape delayed. The NBA championship. I mean, such a different era. And now all the advertising dollars are going right into sports because that's why people watch live anymore. So you'll never, it's just amazing how it's evolved. Any other questions? Okay.